Right, the job today is to get a connector on this, which is the horn off my motorbike. So I was taking it for an MOT and I thought I'd check everything was working before it went, and this wasn't. And the reason was that one of the wires that had previously been fixed had fallen off. So what I've decided to do is put one of these waterproof automotive connectors on the horn, or at least on the wires. So I'm going to run two wires to the connector and then put the wires from the bike in here. I'll probably solder extensions on the bike because the wire's getting a bit short now, and I'll use self-amalgamating tape to waterproof that. So the whole thing should hopefully be waterproof, which means with a bit of luck it won't corrode away again. So the first thing to do is to work out which side we're putting plugs and pins and sockets. So we've got two connectors here. These are the socket and the pin. I don't think it matters actually. I think both of them sit behind these red shell housings. Although looking at it, it looks to me like that might be a pin on this side and the socket on this side, because I think the hole's bigger on this side. So we'll do that. We'll put sockets on this side, pins on that side. So I think this will be the side plugs in there. So we'll put that on the horn. I think it probably needs to be mounted here somewhere. So we'll run wires up and then I'll cable tie that to the mounting of the horn. Does that work? Maybe we'll do it the other way around. Maybe we'll put that as a shell on there, and then that should be removable once that's been mounted firmly there. With a bit of luck, because we want to be able to get it attached and detached. Got some wire here, which I'm going to cut some off and run that down. Let's cut off an excess of that. In fact, let's throw away the beginning of that and make sure that there's no corrosion on that. And then we want a bit of wire about that long, so a bit extra. Cut the insulation off that. Let's have a look. I'm going to, so we're putting in pins in there, so we're going to have pins on the wire running down here. Might all go horribly wrong and have to do it again, but that's okay. So looks like I haven't got any pliers here. That's great. I'm going to solder this in here and crimp it. So I'm going to tin the wire, put some solder, tin the wire. Let's see how well this works. So tell me how good the wire is. I've had this for many years. Oh, it's very good. It tinned really easily, so that means that the wire's not corroded. I'm going to stick some solder in there and attach the wire. There we go. So that's now a soldered joint. I'll crimp it as well. Can I find some pliers? No, let's try it with some tweezers then. So these are fairly heavy duty tweezers, but no, they've bent. I'll get some. Right, back again, got some pliers. Right, let's crimp this. I'll just provide some cable support and make sure that everything will fit into the housing. So that's the problem with soldering it, it may not actually fit because I've not crimped it and squashed it down into the form factor that the shell requires. There we go. Right, so there's some waterproof grommets here as well, so I'm not sure which way round they should go. Let's put that on and see how well that works. So that stops water going up the wire. I think maybe it's that way. So we put the pin in there, so there's a let's see if that goes that way. So there we go. Yep, so that seems to fit really well. So there's a pin in there, and then that grommet goes down in the end. So that's pretty waterproof. There's a grommet on the connector here. The yellow is the waterproof grommet. A little bit of muck in it. So that's waterproof. The cable entry points are waterproofed. Let's put that in there. Yeah. Let's do another one of those then. I don't think that pin's coming out again. So got to get it right, otherwise we'll have to use another shell. Although I bought quite a few, so not a massive problem. Tin wire. Another pin. Rinse and repeat. A bit of solder. That's just to give me a good connection. It's so cold in the workshop that I can touch these things after I've soldered them. It'll take a little bit to warm me up at the moment. The noise you can hear is the fan heater trying to get the workshop above 2.7 degrees. It was 0.9 when I came in this morning. And today's one of the days where we've had a lot of snow here. Although this morning it's warmed up a bit and everything's melting out there. Let's put that one in. Put the grommet in later. No, let's go the other way around because that didn't click. Let's try that. Oh. Yep, that's in there. And a grommet. Yeah, I've got no idea which way around the grommet should go. No idea, maybe that way. Slide that up. And into the hole, so that's in there. Poke it in, make sure there's a bit of compression on that. There you go. So that now needs to go there. So what I'm going to do is solder the wires onto the connections of the horn. I'm not going to use crimp connectors. That's if I can solder to whatever this is. Hopefully it's copper. Looks like it's brass, so that might be exciting. Let's get some metal. It's definitely brass. Hopefully I can tin to it. If I can't, I'll have to put crimp connectors on there after all. See if I can tin those. That'll probably ruin them from the point of view of ever putting crimp connectors on, but I'm going to solder to this. Yeah, that's okay. I think we're getting some tinning going on there. I'm going to solder to it and then probably put some self-amalgamating tape over it. I think we've got a connection there. That has actually tin. That's good shiny. Hopefully the heat of the soldering iron isn't going to affect the horn mechanism. Hope I'm not warming it up too much. Connection there. Hopefully. A bit more solder on this one. Not looking good, but I think there's enough tinning going on there to make a solid connection. It's looking alright, I think. Try soldering a bit of wire on. Let's take this old wire and see if I can solder to it. See how firm the connection is. Let's go with the worst looking one. Do we have mechanically sound connection? What's this? Oh yes we do. So that's what I'm going to use to connect the wires. So all I've got to do now is put the wires. Let's see, so we're going to need to plug that in. That will plug in like that. So that will be there, so I want that down this way so there's enough room for me to pull the connector on and off. And I can cable tie around there and hopefully that will still unplug. Yep, I'll get a cable tie then. Okay, a couple of cable ties. I'm going to cable tie this on here. Probably with two, because I don't want it twisting like this when I'm trying to plug the connector in. Yeah, I think that's big enough, is it? Maybe I need a bigger cable tie. Let's try. Yeah, I think that'll do it. Oh, maybe not. How's that going to fit over there? Maybe that cable tie is too small. Cut that off, get a bigger one. Considerably bigger. Let's put that one back. Don't want to waste a cable tie. Right, let's have another go. So it's as far down there as I can go. Just try going around the thicker part first. Shell fits inside and the only thing going over is the clip, so I can put a cable tie there. It's always a pain when you put a cable tie on and find you've ruined the mechanics of the connector. I think I'm going to put that off centre because there's a raised ridge down the middle of that mounting bar. If I do that, it should be mechanically a bit more stable. So that's too far. Too far that way. I wanted it down there. So there we go. Let's see if we can get a bit more. Yeah, that's quite tight. So that's quite secure. And then run another one round here. Go. So that's pretty secure-ish. Maybe that down the end, that'd be better, wouldn't it? Yeah. So that's pretty secure. Just needs to be strong enough to let me plug the other end of the connector in. Right. So what I'm going to do now, so they're waterproofed in there, I'm going to run the wires down, solder them in, probably in that direction, like that. So this one will be run down, cut off about there. in that. And then solder it on. There we go. So that's a pretty secure connection. And that should be okay actually. Water gets on there, doesn't really matter, it's just lead and tin. Let's do the other one. So these wires are short enough that they won't need cable ties. It's quite thick wire, so they're not going to flap around in the wind. That down, solder that onto that one. Yeah, there's a lot of solder there, that's a mechanically nice joint. So I think I'll have a go at put some self-amalgamating tape over that, or maybe some heat shrink, or maybe both. I'll think about that. So now we've got the other end, so this goes up to the motorbike, so that will now clip in there like so, and that should be fully waterproof. So what I need now is some wires up to the bike itself, and then I'm going to have to solder those on the bike. So can I remember how far away it was? I think I'll just put a fair amount of wire on there. What we need now is a couple of sockets. So if it's too short, once I've put these pins in, it doesn't really matter because I can make another one of these up. Just mean I've got a mismatch of connectors. Probably be leaving these connectors in this tin for 10 years until I need them again. A bit like the wire I'm soldering at the moment. I think I've had that at least 10 years. So I think it's the first time I've used it. Or maybe second, I probably bought it for a job. Alright, put solder in there. And do the same. Put solder. Wire. That's attached. Crimp. That was a bit hot. There we go. Crimp that down. I'll put that in. I can, because I'm cutting the end off, I can always put the grommet in there. Which way does that go? No, I think it must be that way. No, that way. No, it's not what's going on here. I've crimped it and made it too wide, I know that sometimes. Which way has got the... So I'd say it goes in that way, maybe. Is that right? No, why aren't you going in there? Or maybe it's that way. No. Definitely a catch in there. This red bit pops off actually. So I can do that. Pop the red off. So that's it. Maybe I can see what's going on in there. So that goes There's a definite catch in there. I think that must be for that, so that should go in that way, isn't it? Look at how it's gone in there. And come out again. Not good. It goes that way after all. Oh yes, that's it. So I think that much wire is ample, because the horn bolts on the bike there, I think that way round, maybe that way round, and the connections are here, so that's easily enough wire. So let's put that back on. That's just a guide, I think, for the sockets. Let's do the other one. Don't forget the grommets. Let's take 2 grommets out so I don't forget those. Right, solder, tin wire. Pin. It's not fire in the hole, but not quite as hot. There we go. Crimp, a very non-standard crimp tool. I think if I was doing these all day, every day, I'll get a proper crimp tool, but just doing one like this, not much point. Right, can't remember which way it goes. I think it's that way. Is that fitting in there? I think it just needs to rotate a bit. Make sure we're square on. Right. Oh, yeah, there we go. Cut that off at the same length. Put the grommets on, don't forget the grommets. There's one. The other grommet on. Oh, put that on the same wire. That would mean double grommet. That doesn't make it much more waterproof, I wouldn't have thought. Let's try doing it on the other one. It'll be much better. And push the grommets in. Push them in so that all the ridges, we've got 3 ridges on the grommet, make sure all of them are actually providing a seal. There we go. Push that quite a long way down, I think. So the water's going to have to travel in there, then it's going to have to try and get past the grommet. Good luck with that. There we go. Click. That should be good connection. I think what we'll do is check I've actually got a connection there. My trusty connection checker. Fluke 75, I've had that for a long time. Right. That's what we want to hear. Let's stick that on the end there. Should be this one. There we go. And the other one. Yeah, so the connector's connecting. What we need to do now is something with this. So heat shrink isn't really going to be very waterproof there. Not that I think it needs to be. So what I might do is have a go with some self-amalgamating tape, which I'll wrap round it, which should hopefully form a waterproof-ish protection for those connections once it's amalgamated with itself. What I'll do then is put some heat shrink over it, which will provide some pressure to pull it together, so hopefully the thing will amalgamate into one. Let's try maybe a figure of 8. It should amalgamate into one blob. So I'll pull this. Let's try over. There we go. Round. Down. Around. There we go. So that's fairly good. It's not going to be a waterproof connection by any means, but hopefully it provides some protection and a degree of waterproofness. That's amalgamated nicely. Let's have a look for some heat shrink. Have we got anything big enough to go around that? What have I got here? This is the small heat shrink, I think. I've got there a bit of black. Is that big enough? That's nowhere near big enough. Let's get some bigger stuff. What have we got here? We've got some lovely bright green. Some black here. Is that big enough? Nope, that's not big enough either, so it might have to be bright green. Got some massive grey, that's way too big. What about the bright green? Is that big enough? I think that might be. So this is just to stop the self-amalgamating tape from falling off, so I'll just put a band of that on there. Like that, if it'll fit. That flew well. Is that going to fit around there? Yes, it will, I think. Yeah. So just over the self-amalgamating tape. There we go. That will fit nicely. And then the hot air gun. I'll run that at 100. Don't need very much heat for this. Let's try and do the inside first so that it doesn't pop off. There we go. That's it, and then just over the self-amalgamated tape, so that will hold that on there. There we go. A bit of luck. Lovely. It certainly helps having the right tools. So that's self-amalgamated and hopefully held on. I think that'll be alright. Even if it falls off, it's not a disaster. Right. Next stage to attach that to the motorbike, I think. I've got some other parts that I need to put on there before I do that. So I think this bit's done. I'll have to see how well it works and how long it lasts.